Hey YouTube, it's Joel here again, and today I'm going to be making a video on how I blend. So basically, I just have a sketch. I did it on colored pencil paper with a 2H sketching pencil. And the colors I'm going to be using are orange, crimson red, Spanish orange, slate gray, and white, and a little bit of black. But yeah, so basically, here I am just adding like a base layer. I don't start right here. I end up doing in the middle, like right here. But basically what I do is I have my pencil as sharp as I can possibly make it. And I like going in circular motions, as you can see. I like making just the top layer, or the first layer, just like a base color. This is just the orange. I know that the clownfish is going to be orange. But just going from right to left and then back, left to right, in circular motions, I like to do that because it just adds that colored pencil layer. And it looks a little bit off right here because the reflection of the light, but once I do the blending, it'll look a little better. Alright, so here I have my Spanish orange, and what I like to do is I like to use a cooler version of the base layer. So if you've ever looked at a color wheel and you've seen orange, you can see that yellowish is sort of more cooler. And I like to go in sort of circular up and down motions on this part and applying a little bit more pressure to make it look sort of more blend. And here I am adding more orange. Not too much pressure, but just enough so that once I add the Spanish orange again, it could sort of mix in with it. So as you can see, I'm doing that again, up and down motions right here. And as I go up, I want it to get a little bit more darker. My reference photo is a little bit different to what I'm intending to do, but here I am adding some red. And once we get to the top, I'm going to be completely mixing it with orange. So still going in circular motions, and I want the red to be just below the dorsal fin, so this is where I'm going to make it dark still. And here I am, I'm going to add more orange again. This is another layer of orange. The more layers, the most likely it'll be a little bit more smooth. You want that smooth look on the colored pencil. And so here I am going down, up and down. When I mix it with the red, it gets a little bit more darker. If you apply more pressure, it'll start looking more darker. And I just want to add a little bit more red right here, adding a little bit of a layer. And then when I add the orange again, it adds another top layer. So I feel like mixing the warmer and cooler colors sort of helps make it look a little bit more blended. And the more you keep doing this, the more you'll make it smooth and it'll cover up most of the paper. So here I am, I'm going to add a second layer of the Spanish orange, and this is going to mix the darker orange and the lighter orange together to have that more smooth effect. And I like to go from light to dark personally because I feel like there's a lot more room for mistakes that you can correct. But yeah, so here I am adding more orange to that second layer. And now we could finally add the orange to the top to finish it off a little bit, just for this one little segment. Still going in circular motion, but you could go in whichever motion you feel would make your piece look the smoothest. And this is what it looks like for now. The edges around the stripes aren't blended because I'm going to be adding black, and I want to show you guys how I would do that to make it look smooth. Alright, so here I am adding the black on the edges of the stripes of the clownfish. And once I just add like a solid color after that, I'm going to be going over it with the surrounding colors just to make it look more blend. For example, here I'm going to be adding just a little bit more red to make it sort of mix with the surrounding red that's at the top. And then I'm going to add the orange right next to it just to make it look more blended. And it's going to sort of smooth out that annoying colored pencil mark look and prevent the white paper from showing. And I would really recommend you keep your pencil sharp for this because it would allow you to be more direct towards specific spots and prevent yourself from making mistakes. So yeah, this is pretty much the outcome of what it looks when you blend the outline of the black. We're going to be doing this for each side and make it look nice and smooth. So yeah guys, that's pretty much how I would blend this really small part. In the next clip, I have a full time-lapse video for if you want to see how I finish the piece. So yeah guys, this is pretty much the outcome of the piece when I use my techniques for blending. I think it came out pretty well, and I hope I was able to help you guys and teach you about how I would normally draw. The last thing I want to talk about are two more methods of blending. So here I have a colorless blender, and I personally don't use this that often because I just am not the best at it, and I just don't like the outcome of how my pieces look when I use it. So here I'm showing you an example of how I would normally do it. So just like the normal methods I use, I'm mixing like different versions of the same color, like green and lighter green. The main difference is that I'm not really applying too much pressure so that they blend together. When I get to the colorless blender part, I just try to go in circular motions so that they can blend instead of having to put pressure with the colors. And when I do this, it doesn't come out as smooth as I would normally want it to, which is why I normally don't use it. However, you can apply more layers and I'm sure it would turn out a lot better. So when you finish, you get something sort of like this, which is what I personally don't really like. However, you can probably do it better than me, and I personally think it's better for more smaller details, like smaller parts of a drawing, so that you don't really have to see the pencil strokes. But yeah. So my last method is using white colored pencils. So what I like to do is I like to first put a base layer of white down along the entire section that you're going to be coloring. Then you put your colors over it, and then I like to add another layer of white on top. The white will naturally blend the color and make it lighter, and this is why I like to go from light to dark, because once you've completed the layer of white, then it'll be a lot more easier to add the darker layer of colors. So here I am adding the darker layer of colors, and because of the white, it makes it a lot more smoother and easier to blend them together, and I'm able to tell when I need to decrease and increase in value. So once you're done with that, you should get something like this. I personally think it's still better than the colorless blender. So yeah guys, that's pretty much a tutorial on how I typically blend. I really hope this helped you guys, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.